Hello, hello, and welcome to Tany Talk Live. It is officially season 2, episode 1, where we are going to be talking about men's mental health on Tany Talk Live, episode 1. I always put up a poll in the beginning of the week, and you guys decided that you wanted to talk men's mental health. So what I'm gonna need is to hear you guys' opinion and how do you guys feel about men's mental health? I think it's a really taboo topic. I feel like a lot of the times it's almost unspoken, right? Because I feel like men are always told to be strong, not to cry. Like showing emotion is a female trait. That's not something men do, right? And I feel like as women, we should be more supportive to our men about that. Like, we all have brothers, uncles, lovers, and, we live on a planet where men and women coexist, right? Um, so we should be able to all have a safe space when it comes to our mental health. I had me a little mental health breakdown yesterday, let me tell you. And I was very grateful that I had people that I could like reach out to and things like that, for my own mental health. And caring about your mental health is not only a female thing to do. I feel like a lot of men struggle with like finding the support for that because they're always told that they have to be so strong. And you know, showing some type of emotion, complaining or anything is like kind of unheard of, right? Like I'm a man, I gotta take it, I gotta do this, like crying with the girls, you know what I'm saying? Like even I feel like at a young age, men are told like as kids not to cry, like suck it up, like get up, like you fall down, you hurt yourself, and it's like you can't cry, but like a little girl, she falls down and hurts herself, it's like, oh, are you okay? Are you alright? So I feel like at a very young age, it's become demasculine to like kind of go out and find help and find therapy for men. I feel like as women we need to support our men more because I know that as women sometimes we kind of make men feel like that. We make sometimes men feel like they're inadequate, like they can't cry and they can't express their feelings either. Like I know you guys heard of like that whole Johnny Depp and like his girl situation where she was being like really mean to him and like causing him stress and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, no one's gonna believe you. Like, how is it gonna look for a man to complain about, women doing things, to men, making them feel, you know, like they can't express themselves. I feel like if we as women open up the space for men, it'll be easier for guys to kind of express themselves and we kind of will understand one another better. Hi, thanks for joining. um, so I wanted to ask you guys know that Tangy Talks is a very much alive, and uncut, very, it is what it is, what you see here. I want to know what you guys feel like when it comes to men's mental health. Do you feel like there's enough men's mental health awareness? Because I personally, I don't think that there is. I feel like we need to make that more. There needs to be more awareness for it, but it's a safe space for men to go out and express themselves and have an opportunity to say how they feel without being judged, without feeling like you know de like demasculine, if that's even a word, but feel less of a man in any kind of way for expressing themselves. Hi, thanks for joining. Um, if you guys didn't know, last month was June, and June was Mental Health Awareness Month, and that's kind of where I got some of my inspiration to even find out about men's mental health. Because I found out that last month it was men's mental health, so I was just like, okay, well, there's a question here, and it says, what can I do as a woman to help my brother speak to me about his feelings? Oh, that's a really good question. Okay, so your brother, you want to speak to him, and you want to speak to him, and you want him to feel like he has a safe space. I think Furthermore, it's just supporting him. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. We're talking men's mental health. And the question was, how as a woman can I speak to my brother or make him be able to speak to me about his feelings? I would say not to make fun of him. I know, like, as siblings, we give each other a hard time. We're always, giving them hell, talking shit, and kind of making them feel silly. But then maybe just taking a step back and stop being so silly for a moment and just kind of being like, I want to be serious with you for a moment, and I know that you have feelings, and I know that your feelings are valid, and just ensuring that no matter what they say, you're never gonna look at them any kind of differently. So I think that would be a good way on how to reach out. It's like, don't make too much fun of him all the time. Just kind of be like, hey, if anything ever happens, I would never judge you. I would love you no matter who you are or what it is. But I feel like, your feelings are really important. So I was just wondering, how you've been lately. Has anything kind of been bothering you? Have you experienced a situation where you felt like you couldn't speak to anyone or you wanted to speak to anyone but didn't know who? Now is the time, like, to tell me. Or if you see him feeling some type of way, that'll be a good opportunity too, where it's like, okay, he's acting weird, he's being strange. Let me reach out to him and just let him know, like, hey, I want to know how you are doing, like, deep down, like, seriously. And just kind of bother him a little bit about it. And I feel like at first it will probably be weird, if you guys haven't had that platform before. But, I also feel um, I also feel
Like, it's hard because honestly, I don't have any brothers or anything like that. Like, I grew up very much in a feminine household. Um, so, a piece of me kind of grew up with the thought, like, okay, well, men shouldn't. Hello, hello,
Yo,
welcome, and thanks for joining.
what's going on?
What's going on? I wanted to know, since you are a man, right? Because, like I said, I grew up in a female household. Um, I was always kind of taught like men need to be strong and stuff like that, and I have also been the woman who told a man like, you need to man up, you're a dude, like straighten
All
it
the time.
out.
All the time. We're being
So,
told
how
that
do you
all
feel
the
about
time.
men's mental health?
Men's mental health is very important. Most people don't think it is.
I feel like it's hard to hear.
You hear me?
Okay, do you feel like you have a safe space as a man to speak about your wildest thoughts?
Not, not even a little bit.
Huh?
Not even a little bit. There's no
No?
safe space. No.
Can y'all hear what he's saying? Because I really can't.
You can't hear me?
I do. Hold on one second, because it's a little hard to hear you. Um, and I want to be able to hear what you gotta say. So let me grab my AirPods real quick. Put them on. But thank you for joining. We're back for Tany Talks Live Season 2.
Well, thank you for
Hello?
having me. Yeah, you hear me now? I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. I can hear you too. This is great because it's a little loud
Good.
here. I'm in Applebee's getting something to eat. So, I wanted to ask you. Okay, so as a man, do you feel like you have a safe space?
Um, as a man, you don't have a safe space to be vulnerable or express your emotional whatever
Right. Why you
because
say that?
society, the people around you, you are looked at different for having emotions. You have to have this hard shell as a man all day, every day.
So, how can we assist in the lack of men's mental health? Like, what can we do as people, as a society, as women, as men? Like, what can we do? We gotta do something about this, right?
Something has to be done, but it's the world around us.
So,
Since
you're
the day
saying
where
nothing can be done?
it can be done, something can be done, but it's the world around us. As everybody has their own definition of what a man should and shouldn't be, right?
Right.
A man's supposed to take care of his family, be responsible,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Own up to his mistakes. That's like
Mhm.
the main thing of what a man should do, right? But
Right.
have an opinion or be emotional or sometimes just say fuck it because you had a long day and
Right.
the fact that the fact that we're human too and have emotions is always frowned upon. I think that they're just gonna realize that we have emotions too. Life gets hard for us too. We can't always have a hard exterior.
Right. But why is that? I feel like men have that stigma, and I just don't know why. Do you feel like in your life personally, do you feel like you have women that support you, and do you feel like do you have guy friends that support you, as personally, or no?
Um, no, we don't
No,
know.
no.
We don't. We don't know how to deal with our emotions because we've been conditioned this way our whole entire life. So when men get around each other, it's not something like, "Yo, you good? Yo, your mental
Right.
health's all right." It's usually like just decompressing jokes.
So why don't you make the change? Why don't you like you have a group chat with your guy friends, don't you? Because every guy has a group chat, I feel.
We talk about relationships, stuff
Yeah,
like
so
that.
why don't you be the change? Why don't you be like, yo, bro, how's your mental
We
health today?
don't know
Like,
how.
I'm telling you how. Just text it, go in the chat, be like, yo, bro, how's your mental health today? And they'll probably say something stupid or silly and be like, yo, bro, what the fuck you mean? Like,
But
oh, how's my mental health today?
that's exactly why we can't walk up to each other like, "Yo, son, you good? You need a hug today?"
Yeah, but don't be such an assholes about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta stop making like a joke about it and be like, nah, bro, I'm dead.
But
Like.
it's awkward. It's very awkward for us because it ain't something we're used to.
Are you willing to like be open to like that kind of stuff?
I think it's more of the not knowing how to, because it's like we want to sometimes tell somebody like our deepest emotions or what we're going through and stuff like that. Sometimes we want to, but how to go about it, we just don't know how. Me personally, I don't know how. Yeah,
Well, do you feel like if you were in a relationship with your girl, do you feel like that should be a place that you can speak about those things maybe?
if I was in a relationship, my lady is, and vice versa, she's supposed to feel at home.
Right,
Should be able to be vulnerable with her, but time is if we and this happens where you
right,
are vulnerable with your lady and then she looks at you like, "Oh, this is not a man," or because you have opinions and thoughts and emotions towards certain things, you don't feel safe anymore because you have fears like everyone else. We're supposed to be fearless. Men are supposed to be fearless. I tell somebody what I've actually been scared of. That, bro? Really?
right, right. Right, right. And I feel like if you guys are just joining, we're talking about men's mental health and why it's important and what we could do as a society, as women, as men, in order to create more awareness. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. If you guys have any questions, right now would be the great time to kind of do that. You guys know that Tany Talks is a very much an interactive kind of live where I need the followers to kind of give us some questions, give us some feedback. We have a woman here on live. We also have a man here on live. And I feel like, as I mentioned, we all live in this earth kind of together and we need to be able to support one another. And where mental health awareness is not only a woman's trait, like being emotional is not only something that women have, and it's a human trait, right? So we need to be able to speak to one another. I was saying like how yesterday I had like a breakdown and I got like really stressed out. And I was really grateful that I have like girlfriends and everybody that I could reach out to when I'm feeling down. And I feel like there should be a safe place for men. So I would say, for there, if you ever feeling any kind of way and you don't feel like you got anyone to talk to, bro, you can always hit me up and talk to me and speak to me about
Appreciate
anything. And I'll be here to support you. Like, no lie, all jokes aside. Like, and I really say that. And I say that from the bottom of my heart, too. Because I had a friend that kind of passed away and, like committed suicide. He was a male as well. And
My
I feel
condolences.
like yeah, thank you so much. And I feel
Yeah.
like ever since that kind of happened, I'm more aware of it, right? And I know like the pressures of what it's like to be a man, you know what I mean? And I want to tell you as a woman that I support you being a man and being vulnerable and anything like that. And if you ever feel like you need someone to talk to, I will always be here. Like I'm Tany talks for a reason. We could talk privately, you know what I mean? Because it your feelings are valid. And I want every man, you know, that's on here that's watching to know like your feelings are also valid. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever feel like or you know that being vulnerable is not manly, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay, we're people, we're humans, we're all gonna feel, you know, some kind of way. So is there anything else that you want to speak about as far as men's mental health is concerned?
I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just a man trying to figure out your own way so you won't drown. Not, not,
Yeah, and I would say, you know, if you guys are ever feeling any kind of way, I think using your team would be good. Um, you know, if you have those people, reach out to them. Don't ever feel
yeah.
too silly to reach out. Like I used to feel really dumb
Yeah.
reaching out to like my friends and stuff, and felt
Yeah.
like no one cares. Like I was gonna call them about my problems, but if they're really your people and they really mess with you, they wouldn't mind taking a moment to just hearing you out.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I'm
most of
saying?
the time when us fellas get around, it's more, we don't want to talk about that. We want to decompress. Where's the bottle? Where's the, you know? That's mostly some, because it's like when we get around each other, I know you got problems. You my boy, you my brother. You know I got problems. Dude, let's have a shot and let's fucking laugh as much. That's
Right.
usually how we get along. You know, we'll look at each other, long day, long fucking day. Beer, hell yeah. That's how we talk as men. That's how we let it go.
Who do you think created that weird stigma? Where did that stigma come from, like generational wise? Like, why is that? Like, why men aren't looked at as emotional?
That's been since forever. My dad's
Yeah,
dad
I
was
don't know where that weird like stigma even came from. Like, I don't know where and why that's so embedded in our lives. Maybe like from like just growing up, men go out and they provide, and women stay home and they take care of kids and they cry. Like, you know, I feel like I don't get it. Like I said, I grew up in a very much a feminine household where it's like I grew up with that same stigma too. Like, you know, a guy can't show emotion. He needs to not cry. When you
the
fall, you get
only
up. And, you know,
I'm the only boy out of three sisters, mom, auntie. Yeah.
do you feel like you were raised differently than your siblings
No.
because you were a man or a boy?
Um, I wouldn't say differently, but when it came to certain things, it was different. I'm a boy, they're a girl. There's a little bit more harder on me. There's a little bit more sensitive and softer to them. Yeah.
Right. Well, why do you think that? What would you do differently if you had a son?
Scary part. One
How would you
son.
try to break that cycle?
I mean,
Right? Because we're raising a new generation of men,
yeah.
right? And I feel like we can't just sit here and just say, hey, this is how it is, and this is how it's always going to be. We have to be the change. You know what I mean? So that's why mental health awareness is so important. So you as a man, like I said, you go on your guys' feet chat, really ask your friends, like, hey, how you doing? You know? And if you had a son, how would you raise him differently? So that way we could change it.
I'm more of afraid to have a son because, again, it's once you condition a certain type of way, how can you break it? It's like you feel you stuck. So it's like if I had a son, I'd probably be harder on him too. The world wasn't easy on me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like it's like building tough skin. Like, bro, you gotta like learn this. This is what's gonna happen. This is what you're gonna face. This is what you gotta go through. You know, try to find out. That ain't always easy. Some of us fall into like alcoholism and drugs. Some of us fall into
Right.
sport.
Right.
Some men drown themselves work, and trying to
Right.
find something to deal with the stress is just, some of us really go through shit that people will not ever, 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 ever be like, nobody will know.
Right.
Because we told to pull your skirt down, handle your business. You don't
How do
talk
you
about
feel about men going to therapy?
I've actually been thinking about it.
Someone said 100% recommend.
I've been
How do you feel about
thinking about it. Us as men, we
therapy?
don't have all the answers. We don't, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes we overwork our minds because we think this is how it should be because you're a man and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that because you conditioned a certain type of way. To talk to and
I mean, but
get a
do you
different and
think
get a
like,
different perspective.
yeah, do you think you could sit down and really speak to a professional and talk about like your problems?
I've been thinking about it. Sometimes it's best to talk to a stranger because if you
Yeah.
talk, yeah, if you talk to a person you know, they're gonna they're gonna they're gonna tell you things as far as like what they know about you
Right.
and yeah. Sometimes getting a stranger to tell you advice that because they don't really know you is like the best, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because they like, they're not, they're just there to do their job kind of vibe and just like go home. They're not going to sit here and be judging you based on the information that you provided them.
Yeah,
I think if you feel like you need it, go for it, check it out, and tell your friends about it if you feel comfortable. But I feel like that's not everybody's like me. Not everyone is like,
yeah.
spreading the word. A lot of people feel like they should be like private, and I feel like a lot of men are raised to be private. You know, and I think therapy is really important for guys. I think more guys should know that therapy is okay. You know, and let me see if there's a comment here. It says friends often give advice out of love, bias. Strangers mostly give you unbiased opinion, which is better at times. Of course, like
That's
sometimes
exactly what I
friends.
was trying to say. I just said it, man.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't say it's
Yeah, he
sophisticated.
said it so
Yeah.
professionally, right? I mean, because friends give you advice out of love because they don't want to see you hurt, but they also is like, I need you to see me hurt. I need you to see me like this. You know what I'm saying? For you
Yeah,
to love me for real. And it's like sometimes people they look at you and they love you and they have like these certain kind of blinders on to you or even people and family that they already have an impression of who you are.
yeah.
And in reality, sometimes you grow and you try to change.
Well, with
Um,
everybody being so goddamn sensitive, friends try to give you the best advice without trying to make you feel some type of way. But sometimes being blunt and straightforward is the best thing you can do, regardless of somebody feeling, disrespected or whatever, behind it.
yeah,
Being straightforward and blunt is the best way to be versus like, oh, let me hit his feelings and tell him what he might want to hear. No, honest
right,
truth, a little kick in the ass, like, oh, okay, I didn't see it that way. All right,
right,
let me sit back and review. But
right.
that's what friends do.
Um,
They'll give you best advice, and they shelter you. Sometimes you just need the raw truth.
yeah. And sometimes you need to also, like I said, like he said, unbiased opinion,
Unbiased
and
opinion.
a lot of the time you need unbiased, unjudgmental, like just look at it for who it is. So I feel like if you guys are on here and you see like seeking therapy is totally okay. Seeking out therapy doesn't make you any less like a man or anything. And do you feel like if more women supported men's mental health, it would be better?
They can the whole world is conditioned to view us a certain type of way. If we had more support the way we support women, yeah. If we made certain things the norm, yeah, we would feel more comfortable.
Right. So women, we gotta do it. Like you have sisters, right? So you should talk to them too and be like, "Hey, sis, like, um,
Can't
I
talk
feel like."
about this. There's certain
What do you
things you can
mean?
talk to your, there's certain things you can talk to your sisters about, and there's certain things that you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Because you feel like they don't understand a male's perspective, or like what?
It's um
Why do you feel like you can't talk to your sister? Because
because
that was another question that was where a sister wanted to know what she could do to her brother to help them, develop or make him feel more like he could express himself and, whether he could
respect
say his
levels and
feelings.
boundaries.
So what makes you feel like they don't care about, like, they don't
No, not
care
that they
about,
don't
like, your...
care. There's just respect levels and boundaries. I can't talk to them in certain ways that I could talk to somebody else. You get what I'm saying?
Like, what you mean, like, being vulnerable?
Yeah, with anything. Like you have to there's that, right? There's how we're viewed, right? So
Uh-huh.
you don't want them to view you in a different type of way. And then there's boundaries and things that you can't talk about because they're your sister. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I feel like maybe if you open the floor for it, it'd be easier.
Yeah, no, we talk about certain things, but there's certain things that I just can't talk to them about.
Like what? Your love
Things?
life?
Yeah, you can't talk about that. Yeah, you can't fucking talk to your sisters about that.
No, you're laughing.
You can't talk to
Like
your
you
sisters
talk.
about what happened?
Well, do you feel like who do, I feel like if your sister's not your outlet, there's other outlets. I guess
Yeah.
your sibling isn't one. I guess like your friend or everybody keeps saying that they want unbiased opinion, right? The two of you guys say that unbiased opinion is what you need, but then why aren't you doing it? Why the rate of men going to therapy is so low? You know that you need it, but you don't do it. What is that? What is about that? You know you can benefit from therapy. Why don't you go? Like, what is it?
Most of us are conditioned. So
Condition.
yeah, we're conditioned in a certain type of way. So it's just like even ourselves, we know we need it. We looking at it like, nah, I'm a fucking man. I don't need that shit. That's the way we condition. That's the way our
But yet
brain.
you know you need
The
it.
way what happened?
Like, but yet you know you need it.
But yet you know you need it.
Mhm.
Um,
And I
sometimes
know you said you've been thinking about it lately. Like, you've considered it.
yeah.
But what will make or break it for you? What will make you like say, okay, you don't know? Are you willing to take that risk and take that leap?
Sometimes getting out of your own way is the hardest thing to do.
Like,
Right? Right? Especially in my opinion, especially being a man, getting out of your own way and taking a leap into something new is the hardest thing to do because one, it's not the norm. You're not used to it. And then you yourself are in your own head like,
right.
bro, you don't need that shit. Take a shot of Henny, you be good.
I feel like the more we have this conversation as a society, right, and the more we speak about it, maybe not us, maybe it's too late for us, but our children and our grandchildren will live in a better world. Where we really start opening up the floor for things like this to be okay, right?
Yeah.
And even for women's mental health, I feel like there's a portion of women's mental health where we're always told to be strong. We're always told to endure, take it. And I feel like we need to break those stigmas for men and women so that way, we end up having a greater society in like the future.
Mm.
So for that, I want to thank you so much for getting on Tany Talks Live,
Thank you
season
for
1,
having me.
episode 1, about men's mental health. And I truly do mean it from the bottom of my heart. If you ever feel like you need somebody to talk to, please reach out to me. Like, I am a judgment-free zone. This is not
Appreciate
a place
you.
where anyone is getting looked at any kind of way. And I feel like men's mental health is so important. And I want to be able to do my due diligence as a woman on this earth to make men feel like they have a safer space.
Appreciate you. Thank
So thank you
you
so
much.
much. I'm going to go ahead. Is there any last things you want to say about mental health?
No, that's about it, man. Nice
All
talking to
right.
you.
All right. Nice talking to you too.
Later.
Bye. So I want to thank everybody for joining Tany Talks Live. It's season 1, episode 1 about men's mental health. It is such an important topic, and I feel like it's not spoken about enough. And as I mentioned, as a society, we need to start talking about it more. The more we talk about it, the easier it is to even speak about, right? I feel like mental health is something where it is getting better in society these days, where people are starting to know, like, okay, you need to see someone, something is going on, we accept you. Sometimes, people do have mental health issues, and we never even know that we suffer from these type of conditions because we never went out and saw any kind of help. We just think that we're straight up crazy. And it's like when you go out and you kind of reach those places, and you acknowledge that, and you get help, and you have a professional kind of telling you, like, hey, this is what's going on, and now you better even understand yourself. And when you understand yourself and you kind of get your mental health understood, you become a better person and a better person within the society. And sometimes you need to seek help. You need to seek help for it. Whether it's professional help, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, whether it's a lover, we're not on this earth by ourselves. Reach out to someone, if you're really struggling and having a rough day like I had yesterday, reach out to those people. Those people care about you. And we need to start telling each other that it's okay, and we need to start lending out our hands to other people, if we want the place that we live in to be a better place. So thank you guys so much for joining Tany Talks. On Wednesday, I am going to post the next poll where I have the next two topics, for Tany Talks episode 2. So look forward to that upcoming, and I want to thank everybody for joining again. Mental health matters. Bye.